Welcome to another episode of the Southern Boating Podcast. I'm Ian Sneed.
I'm James Anderson.
And today we have a great episode for you. We're going to be talking about Bertram and Bermuda, which I learned a lot about Bermuda. So I'm excited to talk about it because I did not know much about it, to be honest.
So I have been intrigued by Bermuda for several years, and this really makes me even more intrigued.
I want to go so bad now.
Oh, me too. I've been thinking about this trip for a while, so now this makes it worse, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I've been to so many islands.
Same,
and this one's it's different than all the other islands I've been to because of its location.
Right. So before we get started, remember to, as other famous YouTubers will say, smash that like button and that subscribe button. No, really. Subscribe to the channel so you get notifications every time we come out with a new video, and hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let us know if you've been to Bermuda and if you have any tips for when we go, because how awesome would it be if we do a live episode while we're in Bermuda? That would be great. Hey, Skip, if you're watching.
No, I'm going to make a deal with you.
What?
I will help fund your trip if you babysit James, little James, while I go to Bermuda.
I would absolutely do that.
Deal.
Okay.
The deal maker's making deals right here on the show.
All right, let's jump into it. Let's kick it off with Bertram, and then we'll get to Bermuda, because we love Bertram. Okay, I mean, at least I do. I think you do. I know Skip loves them. Bertram is a great company, easy to work with.
Right.
And I'm talking about on the consumer side as well as the professional side, like
on
we
our
do.
side, yes.
Yeah, easy to work with, wonderful people, wonderful company. And what we're talking about today is the 34CC, their center console, 34CC.
Which you had an opportunity to actually see last year.
Yes.
At the Palm Beach Boat Show, which is coming up in another month.
Exactly.
Right? It's literally weeks away at this point in time now that we're past Miami.
I really liked the one that had it was a little more family oriented, because they had the one that was like competition oriented for fishing. Mm-hmm. This is a very versatile vessel. I wanted to add the alliteration with the V's. A very versatile vessel. Just say that really fast. No, it really is. It's meant for anglers and families alike. Right. So they had one layout that was more competition styled, and then they had another layout that was more family oriented, but still had all the fishing amenities you could need. I thought it was a great boat.
It definitely is. So, and then all of the options that were available as I read through this, and then on their website was very intriguing.
Yes.
So I'm very much a fan of, the boat that allows us to go fishing in the morning and then go pick up the family and head to the sandbar for a nice family afternoon.
I wrote down a few things. Obviously, when you're getting a Bertram, you're getting rugged performance.
Absolutely.
And with the 34CC, you're also going to find yourself with a lot of luxury levels of comfort.
Absolutely. And it's really a good sized boat at 34 feet.
34 feet. It's I think anything between like 30 and 50 would be a sweet spot for me, right?
Oh, you went 50, really?
Yeah, you like that number? Really, it'd be more like 40?
Is that so you can fit other 50 foots in there that I know you like?
Yeah. It's a good sized boat. It has, one thing that I like about this is the 4 insulated fish boxes that it has. Because I want to touch about the fishing element first. Just quickly touch on it. 4 insulated fish boxes. It also has storage that has drainage for your catches. And then it has tons of space to hold rods, to hold pretty much everything you need, all of your equipment.
Right.
It's incredible.
So the drainage is really so you can use those boxes as storage as well as making it a fish box, right?
Yes.
Which is really nice because you don't always need to have them utilized for its intended purpose. You can then dual purpose them.
Right. Again, doubling down on the versatility that they offer.
That V word again.
Yeah, I was.
How many V words can you use in one show?
Oh man, that's a very challenging question. Let's find out.
You're trying to find another.
I'm trying
V
to find
word?
another V word, and I'm like, nope, that's the extent. That's what I got. Vermilion. When it comes to the comfort, right, and the family element of things,
correct.
The cabin I think is great.
So you have, the cabin that's air conditioned. So if your little ones need to get out of the heat because they're getting exhausted, you can cool them down relatively quick, right? Very important as we get to our very hot summers.
Oh, yeah.
So, and kids are more, needing some supervision and knowing when to call it quits and cool down, right? So
absolutely.
This helps. But then even the seat on the transom, which I really like, I'm always a fan of that to add the extra seating.
There's tons of seating on the vessel.
And even with there's the wraparound bow seating.
Yeah.
Right. And then the 3 wide helm seats as well. So, and then if you want, one of the options is adding a mezzanine seat.
Yep.
which is very nice, right? So you can really equip this boat with a lot of different seating options. And
the cabin has a fold down couch that can turn into a queen
folds down
size
into a queen size berth. Correct.
Right. So you have seating within the cabin as well that also doubles as a queen size berth. So there's seating everywhere. So it really is like a family or entertainment vessel.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I loved that about it. They also have a head, and there was another point, and a vanity, right? So for extra comfort and
making yourself look good. That hair that you got.
Well, you know, you got to look good if you're going to the sandbar. You got to. Another thing that I really like about this is like everything we've talked about is pretty much what you can expect like right out the gate, but they also allow a lot of customization. Like you just talked about, adding the mezzanine seat. There's a lot of customization options. And if you go to their website, I'll link them in the description. If you go to their website, you can see everything that they have for you, where you could sit there and you could pick so much and make this vessel yours.
Right. We even put a QR code on this article. So you can scan the QR code, go right to Bertram's website, and look at all the different options on the boat.
Absolutely.
Standard power was the twin Mercury Verado V10s, or the 400 V10s, right? And then you got 2 additional options that you can go with, right? So you can have triple 300 V8s or the 350 V10 Verados,
Right.
which is really nice. So you can have all those different power options, really, again, customizing it to what your preference is and what you're utilizing the boat for, right?
If you're going offshore a lot more, you're probably going to go with one of the triple options, right?
And it's got a nice deep V hull, so it's really going to perform well in some waters that are not optimal.
Absolutely.
Right? So when you're going on that serious fishing trip offshore, you know, this boat will handle fantastic.
Bertram really create great vessels.
It is. They have great history and a very storied history.
Yep.
And, you know, again, they left nothing behind. And actually, correction, this is, even though it's a 34cc is the model number, it's 35 feet, 10 inches in overall length with a beam of 11 feet, 7 inches.
Right.
So it's got a nice wide beam for a 35-foot vessel.
Yeah. I think that's a great ratio when you're getting to those numbers.
Absolutely. That's it for Bertram.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that we opened with, and now I'm the deal maker, so I made you a deal. So the next one we're going to talk about is our destination article from the February issue, which is the beauty of Bermuda.
Yes.
And I have for several years been thinking about Bermuda. I've been everywhere south of here and in the islands, but I have not been to Bermuda, which is roughly 643 miles west of North Carolina.
Right.
So this is not an easy trip over there.
No.
And not every boat's going to be capable of going over there, that's for sure.
Right.
But, you know, with that said, they do have a sailing race every 2 years that goes over to Bermuda. And I found that really interesting. They leave from Newport, Rhode Island and travel 636 miles to Bermuda.
Yeah.
So it's a long trip, and they're going.
That was new to me. I mean, obviously, I didn't know about the sailing thing, but I thought it was much further south than what it is.
No, it's not.
Because it's subtropical, right?
Right.
I wouldn't expect it to be subtropical that far north. So when I learned that, I was like, wait, what is... I literally pulled out a map, and I looked at the map, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, I was completely wrong.
Right, and that's what piques my curiosity, I believe, with Bermuda, is because it is so far north and it's subtropical. You know, and not only that, it
has a lot of history.
It has a ton of history. And the amount of islands, being that one thing I learned is it's an archipelago, meaning that it's made up of several islands, right? Several small islands. So I always found it interesting that it
has over 181 islands. And then what I thought was cool was that because it's very compact as far as the island layout, they actually have a lot of the larger islands are connected by bridges. Right. So once you get to one, like you can drive over to the next one if you so choose.
That's right.
I thought that was awesome.
That's what really intrigued me too.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not only that, just all the things that you can do. It's got great shopping, right? At the what was that? The historical naval port, the Royal Naval Port.
Yep.
Right, which is really interesting. That's been turned into a shopping center for all the tourists that arrive via cruise ships or whatever. You know, they can go there. The article talks about several different marinas that you can utilize, which I thought was very interesting.
And one of them, I think I wrote down, there's a super yacht dock for vessels up to 492 feet.
Right.
So, I mean, this, no matter the size of your vessel, you can go visit, which I thought was fantastic. I'm like, how often do you see super yacht docks? Like, you know, I mean, I don't see them often, but that's because I don't own a super yacht.
Now, the other thing that intrigues me is that you will one day, don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you for the confidence.
There's a lot of golf courses on this island.
I was going to say, I know we're going to talk about the golf courses because they have 7 like world-class golf courses, don't they?
Correct. And they have one that hosts a PGA Tour event right now. So very, very interesting. These are very nice golf courses. And believe me, I'll be taking my clubs when I get the chance to go while you're babysitting.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it, man. One thing that I loved was the learning about why the pink sand beaches are pink.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's from the crushed seashells.
Seashells, yeah. I wrote it down. Pulverized shells and corals.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's what makes it pink. That's really cool. Another thing that really kind of caught my eye was there's a lot of opportunity for diving, right? They have a lot of reefs out there, but they also have a lot of shipwrecks. And, you know, that kind of goes back to the history of Bermuda. But there's a lot of shipwrecks out there that you can go diving in. I thought that was interesting because that's something I would love to do.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a spot to do just about everything that you want to do, from fishing, diving, snorkeling, golf, you know, shopping. It's got everything that you need to take the family over there and have a really successful and fun-filled trip.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what intrigues me, besides it being a location that we normally don't think of as subtropical, right? Because you see it on the map, and again, you're like, wow, that's really far north. But what I did notice is when they talk about the weather, it does get a little cool in the winter. It says anywhere from 55 to 70 degrees, you know, 55 to 75 in the winter, which to us, that's very similar to our winters here in Florida.
It is.
So very interesting to me. I mean, all of the pictures in this article and everything I've always seen just always makes me more and more intrigued. And this article really doesn't help but make me, again, even more intrigued.
So what's great is if you have the print issue of the magazine, we have a QR code that will direct you to a 3-day itinerary provided by them, by Bermuda.
By Bermuda.
Yeah, which I thought, I skimmed through it and I thought, oh man, this is really, it's a full itinerary. It's everything you could want.
3 very full days of activities.
Yeah, you could turn that 3-day itinerary into a 5-day itinerary and still have things to do if you so choose.
Absolutely.
I've said that twice now. If you so choose.
If you so choose. Well, I'm going to choose, and you're going to babysit, and then you're going to go.
And then I'm going to go after it. I just want to see the pink beaches.
You can just drop the kid at the airport. I'll pick him up, and you can leave.
We'll trade. We'll trade at the airport.
Just meet me as I get off the plane. You can get right back on the plane and go.
Yeah, I mean, that's everything I had because I want to link. I'll put the link for people that don't get the print issue, which, mind you, if you don't get the print issue, you're really missing out on a lot of content. But let's skip over that real quick. I'm going to put the link to that 3-day itinerary in the description as well.
Good.
Because I really want you to go check it out. Bermuda has so much to offer. So much to offer that even if you're not going to, you know, cruise over there, you could get a plane and go visit and explore because it is such an interesting location.
It is. It definitely is. And the pictures just make it wild for me.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
You know,
I was looking at flights. They're not that expensive.
I got to look at the piggy bank first.
So, I mean, that's everything I had as far as the notes for our topics for today.
That was it for me, too. I mean, it's just, again, it makes me very intrigued. This article did not help me by any bit. You know, it just really solidified my decision that this is a trip I need to plan and plan soon.
Yes.
So,
absolutely. All right.
That's it for us today. Yep. I'm James Anderson.
I'm Ian Sneed.
We'll see you next week.